Alright guys, welcome to your video for lesson 5. Remember, you're going to pause and write stuff down, and then I will talk us through it. Alright, so here is the table of contents. Had to kind of cut off the top part. You can get that from earlier videos. Right now you're going to be putting stuff on the page 17. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is copy this down. This should not take up a bunch of space. All right, so what's happening here is to find in word problems, we're going to need to find our multiplier, and we're told what things increase or decrease by percentage wise. So the way we do this is when you're increasing, we add the number to 100 and then divide by 100. So 100 plus 18 divided by 100 is 1.18. So that's what an 18% growth is. It's a 1.18 multiplier. If we want to get the multiplier for a decrease, instead of adding the number, we're going to subtract. So if we've got a 5% decrease, we're going to do 100 minus 5 divided by 100, which would give us 0.95, which makes sense. For decreases, we should always be getting numbers in between 0 and 1. For increases, we should always be getting a number bigger than 1. That's one of the things we learned in last class. All right, once again, it's on page 17. All right, now let's put this in action. Okay, so copy this down. All right, so look, guys, this is a realistic situation. You're putting some money into an account. It earns 9.5% interest. So what we're asking is to make an equation that represents how much money is in the account, AT, after T years. So what we're doing is we're not using X and Y. This AT is function notation, and it's in the Y position, and the T is in the X position. So remember, your equation normally looks like this. We're simply going to write it this way. We're putting an AT function notation on the Y spot and the T in the X spot. All right, so look, basically you can read this, but we know this is an increase because it's earning money. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the 9.5% and we're going to add it to 100 divided by 100, which gives us 109.5 divided by 100, which turns into 1.095. So this is the multiplier right there. We also know that we started with $20,000. So that's the A and B. Your A is 20K. Your B is 1.095. Look, if you've got that, the equation is pretty easy to write. And so you do the A of T equals 20,000 parentheses 1.095 with a T exponent. 20,000 in the A spot, 1.095 in the B spot. If you are bothered by the A of T and the letter T, you can always use Y and X, and that's okay. All right, so if you wanted to find out how much money is going to be in there after 30 years, you put 30 into the T spot, and you can see it right here. And when you type this into your calculator, you end up with over $300,000. So just by putting money in and letting it work, it ends up with a nice chunk of change. So investing is a big deal and to save money. But anyways, that's how this works. So let's slide on to the next one. The next one is a decay. What's happening here is you have something at 110 degrees, and when you take it off the heat, we know it starts to cool. That's losing the heat. So it's going to lose the heat at a rate of 2.8%. Started at 110. So look, we know it started at 110. There we go. That's our A. Now, it's going to lose 2.8%. That's a decay, but we got to get the multiplier. The most common mistake students make is they try to use 2.8 as the multiplier. That is not it. That's how much you're losing. It's not how much you're keeping. So that's why we got to use our little formula. We do 100 minus 2.8 divided by 100. And that'll give us 0.972 as the multiplier. So that's our B. So as always, plug your A into the A position, 110, right there. and your multiplier in the B position, 0.972. That's our equation. Now, to get the temperature after 9 minutes, we're going to put 9 into the X position, which is what happened right there. Type that into the calculator, and you will have this liquid at 85.2 degrees after 9 minutes. Look, that's this stuff in a nutshell, guys. It's just, as long as you know your increase and decrease, you can plug those things right in to get your multipliers. All right, so your task for the day is to do these 3 items. Your exit ticket, you're going to have to get, you have to be in Zoom to get it. If you are not able to make it to the Zoom class, shoot me an email and I'll send that to you in email. But you're going to have to seek me out for that. I'm not just going to do a mass email to everybody. That's something that you have to actually do because you're supposed to get it out of class. So that's why I'm trying to get you to show up. So if you don't make it to Zoom, you need to ask for the exit ticket. All right, guys, take care. Be safe.